heart with a sweet one bliss. Someone flips me a back body. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a first one, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
It's another one. Welcome to iBoxingHub. I go by the name of BNG, featuring yours truly, Troy. What's good?
Yes, cuz. Big up to you, and big up to the boxing community as well. We're obviously doing a double header right now, so
Of course.
double header right now. Obviously, big up to everyone that's involved. Palamos, big up, enough love. You obviously waited for this one, and we've got a special guest tonight. And cuz, you're gonna have to be the MC when he's obviously gonna come out. So you best do a nice intro for him. Yeah,
man. Just a quick one. Conor Benn and Eubank. I take it this fight's definitely happening this year.
Yeah, you know what? It looks like it's gonna happen, cuz. But my question to you is, where is it happening?
As far as I'm concerned, with everything that's going on, I believe it's going to be taking place in the Middle East. I think Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, man, they've gone for the money. It's the money season right now, isn't it? It's the
money
season.
I remember we discussed this before, but so am I right in saying Conor Benn's moving up weight just for this fight?
Yeah, he has to. But for me, Chris Eubank can't go down in weight. He can't go down in weight. He can't go lower than anything than 160, man. It has to be at 160, in my opinion. So, yeah, what do you think Conor's gonna, have what it takes to, move up a couple of divisions and, dethrone Junior?
I honestly, I don't know, because just judging on the fight that we watched last week with Canelo and Charlo, Charlo moved up 2 weights, right? And it seemed like he was powerless. Like Canelo just ate his punches. So with Conor Benn, not that I'm comparing them to, but I don't know. But I suppose we'll see. But I'm hearing that AJ might be featured on that undercard.
No. What, AJ in the undercard? Nah. AJ being demoted to the undercard, man.
What would you? I mean, what would you? Do you think is a bad thing? Because just remember, AJ did say he wants to fight 3 times this year. So far, he's fought twice.
Yeah, but AJ's main event, man. He needs his own show. In my opinion, I think he needs to be the headliner for other cards to be underneath him. Just my opinion. Like, as much as everyone could say whatever about AJ, he's obviously done his thing for the UK. He's, a unified champion, gold medalist. You can argue that he put heavyweight boxing in a map for a certain period of time. So I think he deserves to just have his own show, man. I wouldn't want him just to be in the undercard. Me personally, anyway.
I mean, what do you think is a bad thing, though? I mean, look, at the end of the day, look, I'm assuming the person who he will be fighting on the undercard ain't going to be anybody credible, hence why it's on the undercard. But I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
Yeah,
AJ being on that card, I mean, that it's going to be a big event anyway, regardless, because it's Conor Benn. I suppose if it was in the UK, the event would have been massive, but it taking place abroad, I suppose, it will still do a few numbers.
Were you saying co-main then? Co-main event?
I'm assuming so, yeah. I'm assuming so.
If it's a co-main event, then yeah, I could take that. I quite like it. It would actually be good.
I've got a question to ask you, in fact. So Canelo fought Jamel Charlo, right?
Yeah.
Was it Jamel?
Jamel.
Now I'm hearing that John Ma, the older brother, wants to fight Canelo.
Oh, the hitman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any point?
On the basis of physics, Jamal, the hitman Charlo, he's obviously been fighting at a heavier weight for a longer time than his brother. So his brother obviously had to move up in weight. Whereas with Jamal, it's not going to be too much of a adjustment if he fights a Canelo. So in terms of physics, yes, but mentally, I think he just needs to come back to the sport. We need to see where he's at, and then from there we obviously can make a decision whether he's ready to do it or not. That's just my opinion.
I've said this so many times. Yeah, look, when was the last time he fought? Was it over a year ago? Was it 2 years ago?
It's coming up a couple of years, cuz.
So I just think it's been. I think if that fight was to happen next, there's no point. I think they just. I just think Showtime's just taking the mick, because that. Yeah. I can't really see him doing anything different to his brother, apart from survive. Can he be a threat? Can he be a threat to Canelo?
I think he can, on the basis of him coming back. He's had a few fights. You know, we've seen where he's at. We've seen his mindset. And if he looks good in these performances, then you can be like, you know, you could be a decent challenge. But for me, it has to be the man himself, man. We have to, you know what, cuz? Just thinking about it. Boo Andrade and Benavidez, for me, that's the winner of that fight is Canelo's next opponent, in my opinion. But you know what, cuz? Get ready for this one, man. We've got our special guest ready. So, cuz, get ready for it, man. Introduce him.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce the man, the one and only, Mr. Knowledge.
I can't hear you guys.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you.
You don't hear us?
I can't hear you.
Oh, mad. Let me see. Hold on. Yep. Can you hear us now? Can you hear us? Wait, hold on. Try come back and come back forward.
You can't hear.
All right, wait, hold on.
Is he on mute?
Nah. Right, hold on. Yeah. All right, wait, hold on. All right. Little technical difficulty, guys. Don't worry about it. Let me just let him know to come back. Yeah, cuz for me, like I said, the fight that needs to happen is the winner of Benavidez and Boo Andrade, man.
Is Spence still there?
Yeah, he's got a bit of technical difficulties with his audio. I'm not even too sure why. I'm literally just trying to tell him to try enter the link again, like, and leave the stage and come back. Let me see if we can get him back in. All right. Is he in?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not muted. He's black. Screen's black now.
No, probably switched off the camera.
Yeah. It's obviously just coming from his end. Yeah, cuz just send him a message just saying leave and come back in.
Yeah, I don't think Canelo's gonna wait for Andrea and can't pronounce the word. He's gonna fight somebody else. He's gonna fight somebody else.
Who do you think is gonna fight though, cuz?
Like I said, I've got a feeling it might be Jamal Charlo.
You reckon he's gonna fight Jamal?
It might be. Yeah. It's looking that way. Like I said, the only person that I think he should fight, who's willing to fight him at 168, is Bivol.
Yeah, Bivol.
But I don't think.
Will Canelo do that? That's the question.
Nah. If the money's right, then yeah, that's if the money's right. But I can't see that happening.
That's mad. Yeah, cause man, we're just waiting for Spence to come in anyway. But all right, cause let me ask you this: who do you think the opponent is for AJ? Then who's this opponent going to be?
Do you know what? At this point, I don't know. I've said, you know, the likes of Miller, Herkovic, because it just makes sense fighting Herkovic. If he wants to become 3 times world champion, Herkovic is the route to go because he's currently mandatory position for, I believe, the IBF, or run it back in Madison Square Garden with Miller because he was the original opponent that he was supposed to fight. I can't see him fighting Zhang. I can't see it happening. I mean, I can't see Zhang fighting AJ on that undercard. And I don't know. Emmanuel Char, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it would be nice if he could run it back there again for a trilogy with Andy Ruiz. But
yeah, that's the fight I would want to see, man. Like if anything. So, all right. So we're gonna try again. Hopefully, the sound's obviously gonna work for our special guest, cuz hopefully this works.
Yes, it's working now, man. I can hear you lot loud and clear, man.
Great. Big up to you.
yes, Spencer. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Nah, man, minor, man. Look, just keep on doing what you're doing, my friend. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, pleasure to be on RnR Hub, yeah?
Thank you, sir. I've got a question to ask you, Spence. I wanted to know your views on the Canelo and Charlo's fight.
A lot of people are rubbishing Charlo's efforts. And what I'm going to say to people, we're getting a lot of people who haven't boxed before rubbishing Charlo's efforts, who have never been in a ring before, who have never known what it's like to be, or you got that call up, you know, you got a big fight and the anticipation of nerves and knowing you're going in with a modern day great, because that's what Canelo is. A man's gone up from 154 to 175. That's ridiculous, right? There's only been 2 other men to have done that, and that's Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns. And when Sugar Ray Leonard did it, he didn't really do it in the correct manner because he brought down Donny Lalonde to fight him. He fought Donny Lalonde for two titles and brought him down to super middleweight, but fought him for his light heavyweight crown, right? Tommy Hearns is the only true legitimate person to say, right, when he knocked out Dennis Andres in 1987, like he's the only man to have properly done it, you know? So what Canelo has done is ridiculous. So it's all right talking that wicked talk prior to fights. You can talk the wicked talk, but you are in there with a modern day great. That's number one, and number two, Charlo's thing has always been intimidation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna punch you in your face. One of them kind of angry man there. And that's fine when you want to be that angry guy, but know that you're going to go out with another guy who's another angry guy, but he's a technical angry guy who is physically bigger than you. Charlo's had major success at 154 because he's bigger than everybody else. Right? I'm not saying he's not technically good. He is technically good. But if you look on like his style, if you look on Errol Spence's style, right, it's artful butchery where they break you down and beat you up kind of thing. But they're big guys. Errol Spence is a big guy for his weight too. So if you look at it, are you dealing with the true core essence of technicalities? And when you're dealing with the true essence of technicalities and you're going up against an all-time great, you're gonna get found out. And that's what happened. He got found out. So when people are gunning his performance, I get it to the extent of why they're gunning his performance, because they're saying, well, you didn't come to fight. No, he realized from early on, I just don't want to get knocked out.
Mm.
right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm.
But you told us this gas talk for a hot minute, like some bad man thing. So no, I'm just gonna be real. So when I see that, so I'm kind of, what I have to say is like, first 2 rounds, 3 rounds, and then it cut out. Did it cut out for you guys as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
The zone, yeah.
I want a refund from the zone. Trust me. Eddie Hearn and them man are taking a piss. Eddie Hearn deliberately did that to sabotage the thing over it because he weren't involved in it. So he's like, he just switch the button, right? So I'm just gonna. So I didn't see what happened in because we missed like 2 rounds. I didn't see, but I don't think anything different happened. Just by hearing the reports of everybody else on how everyone else has been down in the fight. It was what it was, but I'm not in a position to say I'm running Charlo like that. No, because he knew he was up against when he was up against it, and he thought, you know what, Rah, my man is strong for real. Yep. Now it's all right, you being strong, being a big guy at 154, and you're bigger and stronger than everybody else because that's what you are. But it's a different thing when you're dealing with a man that's boxed at light heavyweight, who's a strong man, who knocked out Kovalev. That's no joke to knock out Kovalev, right? You're dealing with a seriously big guy who's a strong guy. So no, you know, it was too much. The weight jump up was too much and everything else. So no, I'm not gonna down his performance like everybody else has been doing it, because I knew that fight was gonna go points. I knew that he was gonna lose on points. So yeah, it weren't one of them ones there.
No, pick up to you, Mr. Knowledge, man. This is one of the reasons why, like, we wanted to get you on a specific show, because your knowledge of the sport is just on a different level. So we just enjoy doing what you're doing as well. So big up to Palamos Music. He's just saying the knowledge. Hope all is well with you and yours. So big up to you.
Respect, man. Yeah, big up, man.
Who do you think Canelo should fight next? Because I'm hearing Jamal Charlo wants to fight Canelo. There's no point.
There is no point, because it'd be kind of similar to what we saw the other day. And not only that, but I don't think, talking out of man's business, it's like it's common knowledge that he's not in the best mental state right now. So why would you want him to go and fight? You know what I mean? Unless it's like Al Heyman's trying to cash them all out because he's now lost his deal with Showtime and saying, right, it's time for me to just cash in on, man, and all the rest of it. No, I believe that what should happen is the winner of Benavidez and Andrade, which is a big boy fight, that's who Canelo should fight next. Let's just be real. But it's a free fight though. But in my mind, that's who I believe that he should fight next. People are gonna hear Charlo and they're gonna think it's gonna be the same as what your brother did. But he's saying, well, now I gotta get revenge from my little brother, even though they're twins. But you know what I mean? But it's one of them ones there. But he's a little brother because he's down at 154. I gotta go get bro, because we ain't gonna get much different. That's what I believe. I think that's who Canelo should fight next. The winner of Benavidez, this is Andre, which is not an easy fight for Benavidez. And I rate Benavidez, a very, very good fighter. But Boom Boom ain't no joke. I'm telling you that now, right? And even though certain times when he's boxing, it's like they're kind of lackluster performances and stuff. But Boom Boom, like I've seen him when he was brought in camp. I didn't even know of him then, but he was brought in camp to spar with Sean Porter when Sean Porter was getting ready to fight Devin Alexander because he needed that southpaw work. And from then, I remember being in the gym with Ashley Fearfane in Mayweather's gym, and like we were looking like, nah, this brother is serious, you know, because he was putting on that work on Sean. He wasn't beating up Sean, but he's putting work in him. So, and I rate Sean Porter. I think Sean Porter's an excellent fighter. And yeah, that's when you know, like, right, this guy's a serious guy.
No, definitely. I agree with you completely. And a little bit off topic here, but it's kind of you led up to this point anyway. Palamos Music just wants to know from you, Al Heyman moving to Amazon Prime. What's your thoughts about the whole sort of Showtime situation?
Well, if Al Heyman's moving on to Amazon Prime, that's a good thing. Because it's only a matter of time that a big promoter was going to go over there. But we've seen, like, when you go over to these, like, it's going to be easier to go over to Amazon Prime than it is to go start up on the DAZN. right? Because Amazon is established hard, right? They're established, and it's only gonna. I was saying for ages. All it's gonna take for Netflix to say they're gonna go into boxing, right? All it's gonna take is for Disney to say they're gonna show boxing, right? Because I know both of you. I know both of you. Yours truly and Binyan. I know you both got the thing. You know. I know you both got Disney.
Yep.
Right. You're watching all the Star Wars bits now. Come on, don't.
Yeah.
Like
I even watched the Mike Tyson documentary on Disney.
You see?
Mike Tyson.
Documentary on there?
Yeah, on Disney. Yeah.
What one? The Undisputed Truth, the one with what Nas made.
No, it's just like a biopic. It's just like one of those new.
Oh, the biopic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rubbish.
I liked it. I think it was all right.
Oh, idiot, man. Married life is getting the better of you, bro. That's what it is. Married life. You're too used to running around and showing off with your pretty wife and your beautiful kids. Nah, man. That was a bag of rubbish.
You know what the best one is, though? I think it's called The Undisputed Truth. You know, it's about the story before you got arrested, when you got into the whole bus.
Yeah, that's the one.
That was the one. I remember watching that and I was like, yep. It gives you the rundown of the beginning, what happened in between. Perfect.
Okay. And no, Palo. I ain't watched the Tyson Fury. I can't watch them. I don't like them reality. I hate them things.
Do you know what? It's actually all right, you know.
Listen, no, I don't think you listen to me. Me and Tyson Fury is cool, but I can't be sitting down when you. No, I can't watch that. I refuse to watch those things. Those things are garbage as far as I'm concerned. But I know a lot of people that have watched it and they said, well, they've got a different approach towards Tyson Fury now, and they take to Tyson Fury better, and it's like they get it and blah. And I get all those kind of things. I'm saying peace and blessings to Tyson Fury, but I can't watch those things. I find those things annoying. And also, when like something just comes out, I never watch it when it just comes out. I always wait like maybe a year or 2 years later, and I say, let me click on and watch it. It's like right now I'm watching loads of documentaries right now that are old. You know what I mean?
How about Legendary Nights? You must know about Legendary Nights.
Yeah, come on, man.
Just a quick one, Spence. Joshua Boatsi and Dan Aziz. South London. How do you see that one going?
Well, I know both really well. And I mean really well. I mean, I've done bits with Joshua Boatsi. I was the one that introduced Joshua Boatsi to Virgil Hunter. So, you know what I mean? And I've done work with Dan Aziz when he was getting ready to fight for the British title. I've done a lot of work with him, like in the gym, send him down videotapes, what fights to study. And so it's one of those ones where both guys I got a lot of respect for both of them. So I wouldn't want to say, well, how do I see that fight guy? Because I know they'll listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to be real. I don't want to disrespect no one. But I know in my hearts of hearts who's going to win.
Okay.
But what I am going to say is like, it's good that I like the progression of Dan Aziz, and he's getting the hella money for this fight.
Yes.
Right? I'm not talking on little peas. I'm talking hella money, like $500,000 money he's getting.
Yes.
Right? So when you're seeing that now, I'm saying Dan Aziz has already won. Because I know from where he's come from and everything else. But what I do like, I like the fact that he's working with Buddy McGirt, former IBF junior welterweight champion, who was an excellent fighter, and WBC welterweight champion. If you see Buddy McGirt, how Buddy McGirt would fight as a fighter, who's superb, absolutely superb. He was meant to come to England to fight Terry Marsh, and thank God that didn't happen because he'd have broke up Terry Marsh, right? Not even to break him up. How it goes is this: is like in 1987. Terry Marsh, who allegedly shot Frank Warren, right? Terry Marsh was the IBF light welterweight champ, and Terry Marsh should have boxed a man called Frankie Warren, not Frank Warren, called Frankie Warren. Frankie Warren, the year before, beat Buddy McGirt, and Frankie Warren was a little short guy, but he could throw hands. He was serious, and Terry Marshall had to retire because of epilepsy, so he retired, and then it was early in '88 that Buddy McGirt beat Frankie Warren for the world title. And then he had a few defenses. Then he loses to Merdrick Taylor, which is no shame because Merdrick Taylor was a former Olympic gold medalist in the '88 Olympics, right? So, no, '84 Olympics, sorry, '84 Olympics. Like, so Merdrick Taylor's a bad boy still. And he loses to Merdrick Taylor, but then he moves up in weight and he beats Simon Brown. And Simon Brown was an incredible fighter and he beat Simon Brown. So, if you look on Buddy McGirt, and Buddy McGirt's actually a historian as well on the sport, he knows boxing. So it's kind of nice that he's working with Dan, because with Dan is just like raw granite. So you can carve your masterpiece out of him. And I think that's what he's doing. And one thing I like about Dan Aziz is because he's just been consistent. Right? There's no real sizzle or anything else. He's just being consistent and just methodically moving on. And he's done things authentically really well. He's become Southern area, English, British, Commonwealth, European champion. You don't see things. That's something like somebody would do in the 80s, but in the 80s we never had the English title. But I'm saying, like, so he's done things. So he's been very, very authentic, and by doing that, that builds confidence and that builds character. That you've been doing what you're doing. It doesn't matter how many rounds that he sparred with Joshua Boatsy, and in the spars, I know that Joshua's got the better in the spars, right? Because he's looking at it like, right, come Dan, let's work. Like, you're my work. But what you're doing when you're constantly sparring with someone, you're gonna get to know where you can hurt him. If it was a fight, what you'd have to do in a fight, you're gonna know what you're gonna do. So you'd have to slightly favor Joshua Boatsy to win the fight, simply because of the pedigree of him going to Olympics and blah and all the rest of it. But then if you want to be truly honest about it, the one that has impressed me more as a professional fighter is Dan Aziz.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Joshua Boatsy hasn't, let's not me dissing Josh, because I know he's got it in the tank, but he hasn't really impressed me. His fight with Craig Richards, he didn't impress. He looked like no standout star to me, like I put blood fire. I'm looking at something. He didn't. Right? But that's more to do with Craig Richards is one stubborn mother effer, because
you saw what happened with the Bivol fight as well.
Come on, like, but unfortunately, like with Craig's a person. He has to fight you on a rebound to realize how good he is. Craig's an excellent fighter, but sometimes it's like it don't tick at the time when it is, and it says, "Don't worry, I'm gonna come back." Because I feel sorry for the man that fights Craig, because I rate Craig as a fighter. But I'm just saying, Joshua Boatsy went to the 2016 Olympics in Brazil. So he is meant to be moved further down the line than where he is right now, because let's just do the maths, that's 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? So it's been kind of stop, start. And yeah, so you know what I mean. We'll see. But what I do know is this: Joshua Boatsy is kind of trapped between styles, where he doesn't rightly know what style of fighting that he's meant to do. So there's a little bit of an identity crisis with him. There is no identity crisis with Dan Aziz. Dan Aziz knows exactly what he's. Dan Aziz is meat and gravy. So Dan Aziz knows what he has to do. Like, he'll be methodically moving forward. You know what I mean? You do that screw shot of a jab. You know what I mean? He idolizes Marvin Hagler and he tries to copy Marvin Hagler in the way he's fighting. But in something like this, like I said, you'd have to favor Joshua Boatsy to come out victorious. But whereas Dan Aziz actually knows himself and knows what he can do, Joshua Boatsy is yet to find out what he can do. So this is why it makes it an interesting fight.
I mean, for the fans or casual fans or boxing fans, some would say it's a 50-50 one. A lot of people are sitting on the fence.
It's not 50-50. It's not 50-50.
Huh?
It's not. Seriously, it's not.
Yeah, I know Spence knows the person. I know he knows. He knows.
It's not. It's going to be real with you. Craig, I'm being real. It's not a 50-50 fight.
With the winner, should the winner fight Anthony Yard next or go for a world title?
Very good question from Palamos. He was just
obviously. All right, I'm gonna keep this thing real, yeah. I asked that question yesterday to Watson. Watson was saying, "No, I'll fight for a world title. Why would I want to fight any yard? I'll fight for a world title." Okay, but I'm saying it depends what you find as the major reward. If you're fighting and it is to win world titles, then definitely go and fight for a world title. If you're fighting for money, right, and to keep the country on lock to really build your name, then I would say to fight Anthony Yard, because that would be a massive fight. That'd be a Sky pay-per-view fight if that fight was happening. You can see Sky already trying to edge that way anyway, because you had Anthony and Tundi on Sky last week.
Yeah, saw that.
Yeah.
So you can actually see what they're trying to do. And Ben Shalom actually needs that fight to happen. Ben Shalom's not in a rush to say, "I'll Joshua Buatsi fight for a world title." If he was to come out victorious against Dan, he'll be pushing hard for that fight there, because there must be a lot of pressure on Ben Shalom right now to produce big pay-per-view fights. Yep. And right now you haven't got no pay-per-view stars, so you got to generate something. So it's a kind of thing. Do I sit down and take a chance and say, all right, then, would Joshua Buatsi beat Bivol right now?
Nah.
Right.
So do you know what?
Right. So exactly. So why would you want to go and fight Bivol now? Because you're saying, well, there's a world title there, when you know, like, right, there is a big money fight in the millions that you're going to get on millions to fight for a world title against Bivol. There will be in the millions for you and Anti Yard to go and fight each other. And why would we take that fight? Because
you know, I think I hear you. I agree with what you're saying. I think it's a risk, because let's just say, Buatsi fought Anthony Yard and he lost. It's like he's back down the drawing boards again. Not to say that he won't get a world title shot, but it will be longer. Whereas if he was to fight Bivol and lose, he can still fight Yard. Would that fight still be big? I think so. That's just my opinion.
It depends how he loses. Depends how he loses.
Yeah.
Right now, Anthony Yard lost to Batervev. He put in such a gallant performance that he actually stopped at 2 rolls off of the back of it.
Yeah. It's a good fight, man. Good fight. Good fight.
It was top, man. You've got to see the Lions in the camp in that one, definitely. That's why, like, I think I mentioned this in the pod yesterday. Like, in terms of the light heavyweights right now, we're kind of getting that Ben/Chris Eubank Sr. sort of vibe in terms of the money and what he can generate here domestically. So those fights, even though it's not for a world title per se, it's still big.
Bro,
fights.
that's what I'm saying to you. And this is called prize fighting. But I'm not going to take away no one's aspirations and dreams. You say, like, I want to fight for a world title. I ain't going to take that away from you, because who you boxing for? I'm not going to say, no, don't do that. You do what you think's best. I'm not in your team like that. You know what I mean? I wish everyone the best in what they're doing. I hope that no one gets hurt.
So I'm hearing that Eubank and Conor Ben is happening in December on the 23rd.
Where's it going to happen?
Abu Dhabi. Not here.
Well, if it happens out there, it will happen. But it's not going to happen in the UK.
I know. I mean, do you think it's too early for Conor? I mean, look, he's been inactive.
No.
Oh, is he ready?
No, it's not too early. And here's why. He's been out for a year. He boxed the other day. He looked very rusty in there, right? But it's not too early, simply because you got to strike while the iron's hot.
Okay.
And the grudge and the old feelings that he has towards Mr. Eubank, I think it'll bring it out of him to say, right, I'm going to go and have it. And if they're going to have that fight in Abu Dhabi, God bless them to have that fight in Abu Dhabi and let them earn what they have to go and earn. But all I know is it's sad that the fight's not going to happen in the UK, because you need to clear your name over here first.
You're right. No, you're 100% right. But my question to you, though, is, like, what weight division should this be in? Like, surely Eubank, you can't lose the weight.
No, it won't be. It'll be at 160.
It have to be, yeah.
At 160.
It would have to be. But Conor going up 2 weight divisions, I'm just not too sure.
He boxed at 154 the other day.
Yeah, he had.
And Conor Ben walks around big as well. Conor Ben walks around about 175, 180.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah, he
wow.
moves for them big.
That's mad. No, that's
Last
interesting.
question, Spence. Would we ever see Wilder and AJ fight?
I hope so. But you never know. I hope so. But you know what? Because, like, you go look at it, right? I think if Fury Usyk happens, similar to when Lennox Lewis beat Evander Holyfield, that was November 13th, 1999, out in America. What happened was Lennox Lewis was the undisputed champion. The WBA ordered for Lennox Lewis to defend his title against John Ruiz. Lennox was like, "Bun that. That's not a challenge to me. He's my sparring partner. I have to punch him up. I don't think no one's going to be interested in that fight. Let me go fight someone more serious." There was a guy called Michael Grant who was brucking up everybody, right? And Lennox said, "Let me go with Michael Grant." He went there with Michael Grant and he battered Michael Grant. I think it was like four rounds, 4 or 5 rounds. He beat him up bad. It was horrible. We were like, let's kind of hold his head and throw an uppercut on him, talk liberties, right? And so the WBA title was stripped from him, and Evander Holyfield and John Ruiz end up fighting for that world crown. And so it made Evander Holyfield a 4-time world champion, which is kind of rubbish, but it's another thing, you know what I mean? But yeah. So I could see the same thing happening because Lennox Lewis is still, regardless, the undisputed heavyweight champion, regardless that he never had all 3 belts. I believe the winner of Tyson Fury versus Usyk, once we have one undisputed champion, like you're the champ, I think it won't matter when titles get fragmented because we're still going to look at the guy as being undisputed champion, regardless that he won't have all the belts. And then I could see Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder fighting in Saudi for one of the fragmented belts. That's the only way I can see that fight happening. I can't see that fight happening just for the sake of let them 2 fight. No, I think a world title will have to be on the line, and the reason why the world title will have to be on the line because gone are the days where, especially in the heavyweight division, where guys are willing to take chances like that. They're not going to take chances like that unless there's some serious money. And there could be some serious money, but I think there still would have to be a world title involved in it. It's not like the 70s. Like you get George Foreman fighting Ron Lau in one of the most classic, brutal, barbaric fights that you can ever see. Them days are done, bro. Man is not taking them chances now, right? It's certainly not the 60s. Certainly not the 60s where good fighters will fight good fighters. Certainly not the 70s where good fighters will fight good fighters. Those days are done. Good fighters are fighting good fighters only to know, like, right, there were titles involved. Yep. Especially up in them weights, titles involved. And I think a fight of that magnitude, I believe a title should be involved for that.
Fair enough.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
No, big up. Just getting to the knowledge right now is just it's a blessing right now. I can't
educating us, man. You're educating us.
Educating us right now, man. That's why I'm loving it. Obviously, Palamos is saying Billy Joe Saunders coming back. We just want to get your views.
Like heavyweight.
I ain't got no thoughts on that. I think Billy Joe Saunders' best days are behind him. But you know what? I know Billy. But like, I'm gonna be real with you. Billy Joe Saunders became a world champion when he beat Andy Lee, and that's many moons ago now.
Yep.
Right? And then he won a vacant crown to win the WBO super middleweight title. And he never fought nobody credible in there. Like, Billy Joe Saunders' best win on his career is Andy Lee.
Wow.
Right?
Potentially David Lemieux, maybe? Potentially.
Well, I mean, you got a point there. I ain't gonna lie, Trey. You got a point. But I would say Andy Lee, because Andy Lee Andy Lee could do a little bit more than Dave Lemieux. But I'm not going to muck around. Dave Lemieux was serious. If that brother punched you, you knew what time of day it was. But yeah. So, but I'm saying like, there weren't nothing, and this is not me knocking Billy. I'm just saying, when they're saying, Billy Joe's coming back, I want to know the reason behind him coming back. You know what I mean? And if the desire is there, then so be it. But I don't think the desire is there. I'm going to be rude. I don't think it's there. You know what I mean? He got a hell of money. He got a big check for the Canelo fight as well. And he sat down, he's saying, yeah. And now he's saying, I want to come back. And we all know that Billy's not the best liver when he's not fighting or training, right? It's not, I'm not letting out no secrets. It's common knowledge. So, I don't know. But I'm saying like skill-wise, listen to what I'm saying. Billy Joe's got mad skills, you know. I remember seeing him and James ago spar. Bro, you'd have paid for that, you know.
Serious?
What?
Was it on YouTube? Is that spar on YouTube?
On YouTube. It was down at TKO gym. You'd have paid to watch that spar, bro. It was a wicked spar.
Wow.
Like, I remember in the duration of time, they sparred 3 times. The first time they sparred, Ambrose Mendy, who used to manage Nigel Benn.
Yeah.
Ambrose Mendy said, you never believe, because he was working with James Aguil, then, you'd never believe the spar that I just saw. I said, who? He said, like, Billy Joe and James Aguil. I said, what? Well, James must have brought that up. He went, mate, it was a wicked spar. When I heard that, I said, when this Brown nigga said this Brown nigga on Wednesday, I was down at the gym to watch. Wicked spar. Wicked spar.
Wow. Boy. Boy. But Spence, honestly, thank you. Appreciate your time, man. Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge.
Yeah, sorry, I just see the guy, what's his name? Palomos. He says
he talks about the girl, obviously, yeah. Have you actually seen the
talks about
Simon Jordan?
Talks about James Aguil.
Yeah, on the podcast, I believe so. Which one? Which one, Palomos? Which one?
Well, that's cool. That's cool that you know what I mean.
Oh, it must be, yes. You know what? I know what Palamos is talking about. Simon Jordan's obviously got a podcast with Billy Joe Saunders. It come out just this morning. So he must have mentioned that one. Yes. Yep. That's what he's talking about. Okay. I literally just watched that this morning as well. I didn't get to that bit. But look, I want to see this spar. I wish it was like...
Bro, trust me. Billy Joe's a wicked fighter. But I don't know if he wants it anymore anyway. And we're living in a new era. Like, it's mad. This is how it goes down. It's like we quickly forget what people have done from what they haven't done. Yeah. When they're out of the limelight. He's been out of the limelight for a hot minute. A lot of people invariably believe that you quit in that Canelo fight.
Yep.
Right? And now you're coming back, and you're up in Asia now as well. I don't know if the desire is going to be there in the same way how it was. And that's not me downplaying anything of Billy. This is something that I'd phone him right now and tell him. I don't know if he's got it like that anymore. You know what I mean? But if he is, he's going to be a problem. Who cussed Daniel Dubois?
You must have been talking about when, when Dubois fought Joe Joyce, and then Billy Joe come out of the whole, he quit, and then coincidentally enough, it happened to him in the Canelo fight. So it was just a bit of karma.
All right, listen to me. Let me tell you this, yeah? Certain fighters do quit. I'm going to be real. Right? And the quit isn't not necessarily when you're in the ring. Sometimes the quit is when you didn't get up in the morning to go do your run. The quit is you've got in the gym and you know you're meant to do 10 rounds on the bag and you've only done 6 rounds on the bag. You know what I mean? The quit is when you're meant to do 20-minute skip and you've done a 5-minute skip and you think, hey, I feel good. That's where the quit comes in. The quit is not necessarily on the night, because there's loads of guys who can play brave or diss people about this and that and all the rest of it. Let's call it as it is. Before, when I was saying, like, how did Billy Joe Saunders quit? I didn't believe that it was a quit because he got pulled out of a fight by his corner. So how did you quit? But the thing about it is this, is I've seen guys, like I could go back to February of 1989 when Lloyd Honeyghan fought a man called Marlon Starling, yeah? And Lloyd, he was a bit jaded anyway. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think you're overtrained for that fight. But Marlon Starling was a superb fighter. Marlon Starling, like, defensively was sound. Marlon Starling's defense, Winky Wright copied Marlon Starling's defense. You couldn't get through penetrators. His hands were very high, and like you throw shots at him and you hit arms and gloves and stuff like that. And at the end of round, Lloyd was losing the fight. At the end of round 6, Lloyd's face was busted, grotesquely busted. He sat in the corner, and Mickey Duff was saying, "Lloyd, do you want to continue? Do you want to continue?" And his face is mash up, you know. And he goes, and Lloyd goes, "Yeah, sure, I want to continue." Right? There is a difference. So this is the thing. And then the referee came over, got, "Oh, Lloyd, are you all right?" He said, I'm cool, I'm fine. There's a difference. You know what I mean? Now, certain people have not been to the levels of where Billy Joel's gone to, or all the rest of it. And his eye was mash up against Canelo. Yeah. But I also do know when certain guys will say, like, right, I'm gonna continue and I'm gonna go out on my shield. Yeah. Certain people, it's easier said than done. So, well, you ain't been in that position. But no, we've been in that position in life. Because certain times right now, people could just want to give up. And everything's been geared to mental health. And if you're continually pushing forward, and you haven't given up, then you haven't quit. You know, like the old saying where, like, winners never quit and quitters never win, right?
Yep.
And what I'm saying is, the irony is the wicked talk that you had for Daniel Dubois about quitting, which I'm gonna be real with you. Daniel Dubois quit. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Right? He quit. Yeah, he quit.
Yeah.
But when people are jumping on him, I'm saying be careful when you jump on him. I could jump on him because the only reason why I jumped on Daniel Dubois is because I didn't like the thing that he said about Joe Joyce's mum. He said, it's a good thing that your mum can't see because you won't witness the beating that I'm going to give you. I said, no, you don't. That's a disrespect. You can't say that things. Right? And let's be real. We're Africans, man. Come on. We can't be saying that. That's wrong. Right? That's European culture. European man can sit down around and talk them kind of things. Oh, yeah, your mama. No, but when, no, bro.
You're speaking the truth right now, you know.
I'm loving this, Spence. I'm loving this.
Right?
I've got a question. Bro. Do you think AJ quit when he fought Andy Ruiz, the first fight?
No, he didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because I watched, it's mad that you mentioned that, because I watched that fight today, you know. I watched that fight. I watched that fight this morning as my daughters were getting ready to go to school. You know what I mean? I was in my office. I just put on a laptop. And no, he didn't quit. The fight was actually punched out of him. There's a difference. The fight was punched out of him. You got to think, when he dropped Andy Ruiz with that uppercut left hook, yeah? In his head, he thought, "Rah, dance is done."
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Right? That's what he thought. He thought dance is done. You know what I mean? I'm playing the Burner Boy dub play, right? And he played it. And as that was playing that, he was unplugging the speaker box and wrapping up things and everything, thinking, right, I'm going home. And Andy Ruiz says, "Nah, brother, no essay. It don't go like that, boy." Boom, slap it.
Yeah.
So when things like that happen to you, you've got your game plan in your hand, yeah. And one thing I have to give Robert McCracken. Robert McCracken did have Anthony Joshua fighting to game plans, right? Robert McCracken had him doing that. So you got your game plan in your hand. You've clapped a man, and you're thinking, "Cha, I don't even need my game plan again because he's done." So you dashed it out. You're celebrating, right? Your energy's gone. It's all changed. And then you see the little tubby little Mexican man get up and clap you with a shot that wobbles you up and then floors you. Then you're on the floor, and while you're on the floor, you're looking for your game plan. So where's that? The referee's counting, boy. You're looking for the referee. The referee gets to 7. You have to stand up. You're up. And Andy Ruiz just jump back on him, and he's saying to Andy, hold up a second, I want to fight my game.
I remember seeing that. That was near the ropes, isn't it? Nah.
Yeah. And he got so. Yeah, I mean, so no, Andy Joshua didn't quit.
Do you know what? He's a strong dude, you know. Put it. Andy Ruiz dropped him. He kept on getting up, you know. He kept on getting up.
Yeah. But at the same time, Andy Ruiz is a very strong fighter. I remember Lennox was telling me before, like, I've been ringside. He said that brother can punch. Like when he was doing work for PBC, he said, like, when he's trying to shots, you hear the woo, 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 you hear the shots. So you got to know what he's about. You know what I mean? You got to know what he's about. It is what it is, man. The game's a game, man. But I don't think Andy Joshua quit in that fight. I don't think Andy Joshua's ever quit in a fight. You know what I mean? But
You know what? I can't even lie to you. The way you've described this, like the first fight and thinking about the second fight, it's 1-1. Surely we got to get the third fight, man. I don't want to see AJ fight sort of a journeyman, you know, at the end of the year.
With who? With Andy Ruiz? Who's interested in watching that fight?
I wouldn't mind seeing the trilogy.
No. Nobody's not interested in watching that idiot fight. That's a little joke fight. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. Bro,
I've said this multiple times, right?
There's no economical value in that fight.
True.
What about Miller? I want him to run it back in Madison Square Garden with Miller. I think that would be a good fight.
I would like to see that fight. Simply, you know what I mean? Simply, but you know what? How it goes to Andy Joshua. Andy Joshua still knows there's a cash cow. So he's saying, why should I give you a payday? And not only that, remember, Miller disrespected his mother, you know?
Yeah.
Right. And you see, like on certain things, I'm saying to man, let your apology be louder than your disrespect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're a drug cheat as well. So, you know what I mean? Let your apology be 10 times louder than your disrespect. Tell me something. What do you think of TKV's fight the other day?
Obviously, my cousin watched it live. What I saw on TV, I think it was a mismatch because at the end of the fight, the opponent he fought, he said a lot of people, you know, thought he was going to beat me. How? I mean, I've had more fights than him, more wins than him. So I just think, I know they're building him up, but I think it was a mismatch. But I do believe maybe later on they could rematch and the outcome may be different.
Bro, I'm going to keep this thing 100, yeah?
Just have it.
Seeing as you lot was talking about quitting, when he got punched in the eye, he turned away. You turned away, bro. Seeing as we're talking about quitting, right? You turned away, bro.
I heard something about the gloves. Was that just
tell everyone to shut them out about the gloves? I heard all that nonsense. I had to put Chris Congo in his place yesterday. It was yesterday, 2 days ago at the presser when I see him down there. And he was talking about but the guy they will use gloves. And I said, hold up a second, bro. I think it's stipulation 4.79 in the British Border Control as a promoter. You're allowed to use your own gloves, to bring your own gloves to venue, as long as they've been inspected by the Border Control and okayed by the Border Control. They don't have to be brand new gloves. Man, they're getting too twisted like they know boxing. You don't know boxing. When your fighter is getting their hands wrapped, you are meant to be in the change room when your opponent's getting their hands wrapped. You're meant to be in the change room to watch them get their hands wrapped. If it is a title fight. But there is nothing within the rules that says even if it's not a title fight that you cannot be present to see when your fighter is getting his hands wrapped and to inspect gloves. Now, everyone wants to be wise after the fact. But look at the gloves and hold up a second. Your corner man, your trainers, your managers, your people around you, your advisors, they're meant to go and check this.
Yeah.
Now everyone wants to run into boxing like, you know what I mean? And like, I know Jamie's management team and that, yeah, they're not boxing people, right? They come from music and property. They've done really well in that aspect, but this is boxing. So go and talk to people that are experienced, that know about these things and what to do. But they went, you know what I mean? So Barry Smith, who's my guy, but he's really upset about, now Spencer, like the guy's gloves are like Rizzler paper. I'm saying, brother, you should, it's no good being wise. There's no good being wise after the fact. You know what I mean? You're meant to go in there and say, bro, I don't like these gloves, bro. You got to do something about it. I'm kicking off. Remember, and the emphasis is on Jamie because Jamie is the star boy. This man's an opponent. So they could have kicked off and said, nah, not having this. But they never. Because they weren't checking.
No, it's true.
Why would you want your fighter to go in with a man who's had 12 fights, lost 1, 11 wins, 11 knockouts? I don't care if you fought your grandmother 11 times, you can punch. So why would you all of these kind of things? I'm saying, like, who made that match?
The matchmaking, yeah. That's what I was thinking. Because I watched the fight live. I was there. You're cool. Had a decent view of it, and I just agree with my cousin. I just think the matchmaking there was off, man. That fight at that specific time wasn't good for him, in my opinion, man.
You know what, Cheshire? If you're gonna get beat up, yeah, get beat up by Fraser Clark, but you know you're gonna get 150 grand, right? That's what I'm saying. And also, it was a nasty cut.
Yeah.
Right. It was a nasty cut. So that's taking 6 months out of your career as well, right? That's that. And also, I'm seeing your mass music brothers saying like he looked terrible. Also, if you're a heavyweight, be in condition. You have, in this day and age, with technology and everything else and how training is, you ain't meant to be no fat heavyweight no more. Only fat heavyweight is Tyson Fury. He can get away with it. Because that man go pub and drink bag of beer. Right? Everybody else, you are not meant to be a fat heavyweight. I'm sorry. And that's that. I've said it. And that's not me having anything against Jamie, because he's actually a nice youth. But nah,
Pick up Jamie, regardless anyway. And look, you're speaking facts on your end in terms of his opponent, but we gotta give credit to his opponent as well, man. He just come in like, all right, I'm gonna be the underdog for this fight. All right, cool. I'm gonna show you guys something different. And look, you gotta just see the celebration and everything. Like, just like in my mind, I just thought to myself, you know what? This a man from Brazil, heavyweight champion of Brazil, come to England. You know, he's obviously beat the favorite, and he's gonna go home happy.
Yeah, he's gonna go home happy. He's gonna go home. You know what? And I hope that it leads to open up more doors for him. You know what I mean? Because you must know, say he's had it hard. You know what I mean? He's had it hard. Fair play to him.
Big fight that I'm looking forward to: Fabio Wardley and David Adelaide. That's a fight. I reckon that could be the fight of the night. Honestly,
it's a very good fight. It's a very good fight, and
I know who's gonna win. I ain't gonna say it live, but I know.
You know,
yeah.
So why are you gonna say it live? What, are you afraid with these guys?
No, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I just know who's gonna. I've said it before. I know. I see Fabio winning this fight. There you go.
Okay.
Fabio.
Yeah. Who you got, Spence? Who you got?
I would slightly listen. After I see Fabio get dropped in the little kerfuffle thing, I got my reservation about him tonight. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But he didn't get dropped. It wasn't by Adelaide. It was by some next random dude.
Yeah, exactly. And he got dropped by a non-professional. So therefore, you put doubt in my heart, bro. So, I'm just telling you how it is.
You reckon Ogano's gonna drop Fury?
What, if he lands, he's an Uber driver. You just drop him home. You ain't dropping nothing. About is he gonna drop Fury? Come on, man, he ain't dropping nothing. Come on, let's be real.
Listen, Spence, we have to do this again another time, man. But I appreciate it very much, man. Honestly, thank you. Guys, remember to like.
Wait, big up to Aisha as well. She get a little comment, out there. She's a huge AJ fan, so she's got so much support for him. And one last point as well from Palama.
Aisha, why are you supporting AJ?
Ooh.
Ask her, why are you supporting him?
But I can answer that question on her behalf.
Go on.
He's brought British boxing back on the map. When Lennox Lewis retired, it was just the Klitschko brothers running things. When AJ, don't get me wrong, Fury came as well, but then, you know, I'll say AJ was more marketable, you know, and I feel that the
AJ is incredibly marketable.
There you go.
Yeah, and let me tell you this: the night, it's 10 years today since he turned professional, and that's the match. I remember being in his change room just before the fight. Yeah, it was crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. I remember I brought my mate down there to watch the fight, and me and Darren Hammond. Then Darren Hammond was the British champion. I managed him, and we went to the fight. And yeah, he was. Yeah, he has really put British boxing on the map, and he's brought a lot of cash into the game. So a lot of people need to be thankful to that brother. I'll tell you that now. Nothing.
There you go. Sorry, last question, sir. I know I keep talking.
That's cool.
Chamberlain and Lawal. Is it Lawal?
Lawal. Chamberlain's going to beat Lawal.
Oh,
yes. Yes, man. Come on. Let's get Chamberlain back in the mix. Let's get him back in the mix.
Get back in the mix. Chamberlain's going to beat Lawal. Lawal should have. You was down there. You guys were down there. You never turned up to the team. He said, like there's a mental blockage there that the youth has to overcome. Because no doubt, if he hits Chamberlain properly, he will knock him out clean. Lawal can punch, but Lawal was doubting himself. I remember when the fight was first announced and then it got cancelled. Yeah. And Lawal, when I was interviewing him, he was like, you know, people saying that I can't box. People saying like all the negative saying this, that about him. So yeah, they're gonna see, and he ain't been where I've been, and I know he's had it hard growing up and everything else. I know this part, but the worst thing that you want to do is give a fleet-footed, sharp-shooting boxer like Isaac Chamberlain confidence.
Yep. And
your behavior is giving him bare confidence. If I was like Lawal, I'll be badding up, man, when I'm coming into change rooms and I'm coming into pressers and all those kind of things. That's what I will be doing. And because of that, I think the mental edge is far great in Isaac Chamberlain's favor. And I think Isaac Chamberlain will come out, not comfortable points winner, but he's going to get some rough patches in there. But I think Isaac Chamberlain is just going to pip him on points.
Okay.
Yeah. No, pick up. You know what? Let me ask this question. I was just thinking in my mind. I was like, you know what? He doesn't get credit for also because obviously you're the knowledge. You got the knowledge of the sport, man. But the fact that you've been in the ring as well, big up to you as well. I wanted to just ask you a question. If you were to sort of like come back, this is just a fantasy question. If you were to just come back, ring music wise, what are you coming out to in this era?
In this era right now?
Yeah.
You know what? That's a really good question, you know. I'm a Pan-Africanist, so maybe I'd come out to Burning Spear. No one remembers Marcus Garvey, something like that. I'd come out to something like that. I like to put fear in the heart of the oppressors when they hear them things and they hear them kind of beeline. You know, that man start get pranked. Bloody hell, Lord, them drums are beating. Oh, what's going on here? No, I'm keeping it 100. That's what I'm about. You know what I mean? That's what. Hey, did you see that thing? What I said about the border control went viral.
Yes. I saw it. You know, I haven't seen the documentary. I've seen the clip, but
what's your documentary?
Yeah, I mean,
my guy Jordan made it from Channel 4. Really nice brother.
Well, I mean, what's your views on it?
On the documentary?
No,
There's
no,
only one. No,
on,
there's only one person in there that can say, yeah, it's racism, and maybe I got to agree with a brother. And because when white people are coming up to you telling you that, right, this is racism pushed on Jeff Hines, then yeah, but Ian John Lewis got no rights trying to talk no racism. And I could get really deep into the thing. What you realize is like when certain people of color, and I can't say a black person because Ian John Lewis is actually dual heritage. So when you see somebody who's dual heritage, is whether they want to claim their blackness. Throughout the time that I've known Ian John Lewis, he's never really claimed no blackness. He's a really nice guy. He's a nice guy, but he doesn't come across as archetypal black. He's married to a European lady and all the rest of it. And he's very cockneyish. Yeah, because he used to box. He's a decent boxer, welterweight, decent fighter. So he was an A-class referee. When you're an A-class referee, what happens is this: you get to ref world title fights. You get to fly around the whole world. You get to be a judge as well for world title fights. It's a big thing, right? Now, here's the thing. Jeff Hines is from his family's from Barbados. He has been petitioning to become a star referee, an A-class referee. Yeah. When they've done a vote on the thing, Ian John Lewis voted against him. Right? Okay. Enough people don't know. I could talk at the thing, and enough people don't know. It's just your show's gonna know the real thing. Right? So I want people to realize this part here. When we're talking about blackness and all the rest of it, and the solidarity of black people, there is no solidarity. But all of a sudden now, it's racism on the border control because they demoted Ian John Lewis for horrendous scoring, and that's what it was. Come on, man. No one can't tell me that Catterall didn't beat Josh Taylor because he beat him.
That's right.
And you gave him like 3 rounds, and the brother got knocked down. So how did that one work? So
you said that.
He's saying that, oh, well, I was the only one, I was reprimanded because the only reason why I put that is because I was black. Because the other 2 judges, that didn't happen to him. The other 2 judges officiated, but their scoring wasn't as wide as yours. Remember, it's a split decision. So one judge went for Catterall, the other 2 went for mine. Or was it unanimous? I can't remember now. Right? But regardless, the disparity wasn't as big as the one that you made. Not only that, but people have been complaining about you for years.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
So when the border pulled you, maybe it's kind of like karma because they're thinking, well, boy, who's gonna back you anyway? So when man's coming to me saying, "Oh, Ian John Lewis," man's coming to me, "Oh, would I have Ian John Lewis on your show?" I said, "Why is the man trying to come jump on my thing now to try to mash up my thing?" You know what I mean? And I have to be real. My experience with the British border control. Remember, it's old white men, yeah? But it's old white men that have known me since I've been 15 years old, right? So maybe I get treated a bit differently. But I've got, it isn't. What I realize is a private members club to the private members, right? And in the private members, it's like a Masonic lodge. You know what I mean? They don't care if you're black, white, Asian, Chinese, whatever. They don't care. Once you're in the club, you're in the club. You know what I mean? So the generalization of everything else out of it, maybe it is, and it could be deemed as being racist and all. No, in the 80s, in the 70s, the border control was racist. I'll tell them that now it's racist. You don't believe me? I'll get you a scholar to come on your thing, Al Hamilton, who'll break down the whole thing. Al Hamilton ran the Commonwealth Sports Awards, got MBE from the Queen. He could break down the whole thing for you. You know what I mean? He was the first man to bring out Frank Bruno, right? They could tell you, them times, that's racist. Them times, that was racist. Now, can I turn around and say it's racist? No, now I can say it's favoritism. Right? So when people are jumping at the border control are racist, or the thing that they made, and they're on the documentary, there's some girl who had to stop boxing because they took away her license, and and she was saying like she wanted to respect the fact that she was Muslim and she was coming out in having tights underneath her shorts, and one border control member went nuts on her and said, "You can't wear that," and they brought her in for questioning, all kind of rubbish. But she's saying like she wanted to respect her religion. But like I said, I've been on the girl's Instagram. You know what I mean? You're wearing very provocative and revealing clothing. So I don't want to hear no talk about this Muslim thing. You're disrespecting Islam. Shut your mouth. So people like to call racism when it's in their favor. You know what I mean? Now, the thing about it is this. If somebody was projecting racism towards you and to the show, right? On iBoxingHub, then I, Spencer Fearon, will turn around and say, right, I'm backing you, man. They're taking the piss. But don't let me not say nothing. And then the same people are trying to say, do something. I feel like, oh, that's racist. But no, the only way to combat racism is with solidarity. Because solidarity in number bring forth change. So loads of people want to scream racism when it's just for them. So therefore I'm saying no. And because like how it goes is this. It's only going to be racism when it affects me? No. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And that's how you got to roll on it. But loads of people don't roll on it. And they don't roll on it because they're cowards. But you know what I stand for? I'm not a coward at all.
Come on.
You know what I mean? But what I'm not going to have no man jump up and say it's racism that what he's faced when he was in a position. A-star referees get looked after, you know. Remember, if you're an A-star referee, we're just boxing every week, you know. You're an A-star referee, that means you're on the road every week. You're going to 5-star hotels every week. You're when they find out, say, we want to use you to promote, say, oh yeah, we would like to use. Could you go? And you're saying, all right, you're gone. Oh well, I don't want to be away from my wife. Your wife's going as well, so she's traveling up and down the country or traveling up and down Europe. You know what I mean? On the Eurostar, you're in the hotels. You're comped everything, and you're getting paid. So you're getting paid, and remember, you also got a job, you know. So you got a job in a week as well, you know. You got your 9 to 5. But then also, you're an A-star referee, so you get to travel the whole world. You could end up in Vegas, end up in Germany, end up in Switzerland. You know what I mean? End up in Russia. You get up anywhere. But you're getting paid, and you're getting comped. So who's going to go? You ain't going to go against the grain now. The next black man saying, Rah, but they're not bringing me into the club. And you're saying, well, boy, that's got nothing to do with me, you know, because I'm happy being the only Negro in the village. And that's what we get. So spare me from this nonsense and spare me from it, because it's me you're dealing with. And I'm telling you on the reels now, people want to scream racism when it fits their narrative.
Yeah.
Right? But just remember, all that's happened is karma bit you on the bum. And I got nothing against Ian John Lewis. He's actually a nice guy. Right? But I'm saying, like, when you should have backed someone else of color, you never. You were like, boy, I'm not mashing up my gig. Right. But now what happened? The same gig that you never want to mash up, come around and bite you on your bottom.
Yeah, karma. It's karma at its finest, man.
As a good book says, you reap what you sow. Yippee-yi-yo. I added that piece in. So,
Josh Warrington and Lee Wood. That's an interesting fight happening this weekend.
It is. I've got Lee Wood winning that fight.
Same here.
I think Josh is a little bit past his sell by date, even though he's an excellent fighter. His dad is a wicked trainer and a lovely human being. But I think Lee Wood, I got Lee Wood to come out victorious in that fight. Because Lee Wood has shown me adaptability. He showed me adaptability. And when you think about it, Josh Warrington's win against Carl Frampton is 4 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that long ago, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. And within that time now, it's 5 years ago. It's coming up 5 years ago, brother. Right?
Oh, yeah, that's actually been 5, yeah.
Yeah, 2018. Yeah. Yeah. So you have you've been in some hard fights within that time. Josh Warrington has been, but what Josh Warrington showed me in these fights is that adaptability, and they can change and stick to their game plan. So I've got Josh Warrington coming out victorious in that fight. It's gonna be hard because not Josh Warrington, sorry, Lee Wood coming out.
Lee Wood,
Josh Warrington comes to bring it still. He comes to bring it with that tight guard. He don't really punch, but he hits decent though. He don't really punch like he ain't knocking out, man. but he hits hard enough because you can't be in all them world title fights and not be able to keep a man off. Guys who can punch will just try to walk through you, and they don't. So he must be able to hit hard enough, but he hasn't mastered the art form of knocking out guys. But in this fight here, I'm going for Lee Wood.
KSI and Fury.
I've always meant to talk about boxing, bro.
I was just waiting for that. As soon as I heard KSI, I was just like, yep.
No, you know what?
Now, I want him to do it, though. I want him to just do it, just for the sake of how, the way Tommy's sort of disregarding him, and you know what I mean. And I know where Tommy
Fury's meant to be disregarding him. The thing about it, let me tell you this, yeah. If Tommy Fury loses his fight, his career is done.
Yeah.
Right? His career is done. Or then, you know what I mean? Because he's got aspirations to be a proper professional fighter. KSI hasn't. But one thing I give KSI, the brother trains hard, you know? You know what I mean? Yeah. Tunji, he trains very, very hard.
Well, on that note, guys, I'm hungry and he's going to eat my rice and chicken. So we'll continue this.
Being on iBoxingHub. Big up, you guys. Keep on doing your thing. Yeah, I mean, you've been trying for ages to get me on your thing, and I'm always like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one I saw. I said, "Chat, let me just jump on your thing."
Now, you know what? These lot need to understand that it's not an easy thing. You're a busy man. We put in the work to just try and keep things going.
Come on. And it's not that. I'm just keep it 100. It's like I see like the constant graph that you lot are doing with your channel. And it's like every now and then you like need a little leg up, and so ain't nothing for me to go bless you lot. For me to go bless you lot channel, ain't nothing at all. And as I'm that's Lennox Lewis phoning me right now as I'm talking to you.
Oh nah, what Lennox?
Yeah,
undisputed.
Undisputed, man.
You can give us a quick couple minutes.
Nah, I can't do that, man, because he don't.
No, guys. No, tell him blessings, regardless.
Yeah, come on, man.
One of my legends, man. He's one of my legends.
Yeah, come on, man.
All right, then, guys. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. Peace and love. I'm out.
All right, bless up. Big up.
Bless up. Oh, wait. Hold on, lads.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now, with your bag it up. Light up my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me a bag it up. So, it's another one.